Hi everybody, Kira here at Unfurl and welcome to my messy car. And today's video is about the importance of sometimes being able to say, I can't cope. And I think for many of us, we've either, grown up in a home where people weren't coping, but they didn't say anything. They just kind of muddled along. And so we've grown up believing it's not okay to say or admit that you're not coping. Or else we've seen people kind of just getting on with things, and then we internalize the story that we just have to get on with things and buckle down and do the work and just stop complaining. And we kind of shut ourselves down. So we kind of live in this denial that we're not coping. And if we can't admit it to ourselves and if we can't admit it to other people, we're not going to get the help that we really, really need. And I know that a few years ago, 10 years ago now, when my kids were very young and I was really not in a good place at all. I was not coping. I was losing my shit with my kids. I was crying at the drop of a hat over any tiny little thing that would set me off. So I was either raging or crying, but I was just an absolute mess. And then there was a big explosive family situation at one point, and at that point I just went, okay, I really can't cope. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I ended up going to the doctor and I said, look, I'm with my kids 24/7. I don't get a break, so I can't do therapy or anything, but I can't cope. And then the doctor put me on medication, which antidepressants, and I was on them for maybe 5 or 6 months. And my God, did that help. My God, did that soften the edges of life that was so overwhelming at that point. And it was so hard to admit I can't cope because it felt like failure. I felt like I was failing. I felt like I was failing and I couldn't ask for help. So if you're feeling completely overwhelmed and you feel like you can't cope, it's okay to admit you can't cope. Because as soon as you admit that to yourself and as soon as you're able to admit that to someone else, then you get the support that comes in that actually makes it easier and possible to cope. But if we don't admit it and we keep on pushing on through and pushing on and pushing on, we're holding it and we're holding it, we're holding it all in. And the tiniest thing is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. And then we're either going to have a major mental breakdown or we're going to lose it in a really ugly way or a really public way, which is sort of what I did, which I don't advise. If you can avoid it, try and avoid it. It's easier just to admit you can't cope. And I obviously medication's not for everybody, and normally I would try to not take it if I can, but at that time I didn't have the free time enough to go for the therapy that I know would have helped me just to talk about everything that was going on. So look, if you are trying to hold it all together, but you know deep inside, you know that you're just not coping, please admit it. Say it. I can't cope. It's okay to admit it. We're all pushed to the absolute brink right now. We're all asked to carry the impossible load. Everybody is carrying a different impossible load. You might tell yourself, oh, they're all doing it, so why can't I just do it? We all have a different ability, a different capacity to manage what life throws at us. And maybe you've reached your maximum capacity, okay? So if you need help, just admit I can't cope. And you'll feel what a relief that is to finally be able to just let help in. Okay, I'm sending you loads of love and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.